Why do the strongest women I know always go quiet right before something big happens? It's not fear. It's not weakness. It's something else. Have you noticed this in yourself, that moment when your whole body says, don't speak yet, and you don't even know why? What if silence isn't a pause but a signal? What if the quiet moments in your life were an empty but full of decisions that changed everything and you didn't even realize it? Think about it. How many relationships got worse because you spoke too soon? How many fights did you stay in because you couldn't hold your peace? And how many times did you feel your power slip away just because you couldn't stand the silence? What if silence is your sharpest weapon nobody ever told you? Think about it. How often have you said something in anger or frustration, only to regret it later? That's the trap. The power of silence is all about self-control, about emotional intelligence, knowing when to speak and when to let the quiet do the talking for you. It's not about ignoring the world. It's about showing up with calm, with presence, with a confidence so deep it doesn't need to shout. And here's the thing, most of us miss this secret because we're wired to fill the noise, to react fast, to prove ourselves right. But what if the biggest growth in your life is waiting right there in the quiet moments, in the pause between the chaos and the reaction? That stillness can unlock a new level of personal growth, one where you don't just survive your challenges, you rise above them with grace. I'm telling you, silence isn't just the absence of sound, it's a choice. A powerful, deliberate choice that says, I control my story. I control my energy. And that choice, it changes everything. Now stick with me, because later I'm going to share something about silence that flips the script on everything you think you know about being strong. You don't want to miss that. Most people think power is about noise being the loudest, the most aggressive, the most visible. But real power is quiet, it's steady, it's patient. When you choose silence over reaction, you're actually building emotional resilience. You're training yourself to respond with wisdom, not just impulse. Imagine your mind like a garden. Every word you speak is a seed. What are you planting? Anger? Doubt? Or are you planting calm, clarity, and strength? Silence lets you tend to your garden without rushing. It gives you space to pull out the weeds of negativity before they take root. Emotional intelligence, the ability to understand and manage your emotions, is the secret weapon, and that turns silence into your greatest asset. When you learn to pause before reacting, you give yourself a chance to make better choices. You create boundaries that protect your energy instead of draining it. And that kind of control, it feels like freedom. I know it's hard sometimes. When someone pushes your buttons, your first instinct is to fight back, to defend, to prove yourself. But what if the real fight is within? What if the strongest thing you can do is simply hold your peace? That's where the power of silence shines brightest. And here's a little secret. The most successful people you admire, they didn't get there by shouting the loudest. They mastered silence. They mastered themselves. Later, I'm going to tell you about a public figure who embodies this in a way that might surprise you. Their story will change how you see silence forever. Trust me, it's coming. Let me tell you about someone who understood this better than most. Keanu Reeves. Yeah, the guy who seems to float through life with calm and grace, even when the world tries to shake him down. Keanu doesn't need to shout to be heard. His silence speaks louder than words ever could. He's been through heartbreak, loss, and constant public scrutiny, yet he carries himself with a quiet strength that's magnetic. That's the power of emotional intelligence and self-control in action. Keanu shows us that silence is not emptiness, it's space. Space to think, to heal, to grow. When you control your silence, you control the narrative. You don't let the noise of the world steal your peace or your power. And this isn't just some spiritual fluff. It's real. Science shows that practicing silence and self-control rewires your brain to be more resilient, more focused, and less reactive. Think about your own life. How many times have you been caught in the whirlwind of emotional chaos because you couldn't pause? What if that pause, the silence, was your secret weapon to handle stress, to handle difficult people, to handle life itself? It's not about ignoring your feelings or bottling them up. It's about choosing when and how to express them. That's emotional intelligence. And that choice is one of the biggest steps toward personal growth you can take. Keep this in mind. The moments you choose silence aren't moments you lose. They're moments you win. And soon, I'll share a simple daily practice that can help you tap into this power, even on your toughest days. You're going to want to hear this. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Silence isn't just about holding your tongue, it's about tuning in. When you quiet the noise around you, you start to hear the whispers of your own intuition, your inner wisdom. That's where true personal growth begins. Think about the last time you felt overwhelmed, distracted, or unsure. What if instead of reaching for your phone or rushing to fill the silence, you lean into that quiet moment? What if you gave yourself permission to just be? No judgment, no pressure? That stillness creates space for clarity. It helps you understand what you really want, what really matters. It's like turning the volume down on the world so you can finally hear your own heartbeat. And don't underestimate how powerful that is. Emotional intelligence isn't just about handling other people's emotions, it's about managing your own. It's about self-control in the face of chaos, and that's a skill that will carry you through every challenge life throws your way. Here's a practical tip. Start small. Before you respond the next time you feel triggered, take a breath, pause, and listen to the silence inside. It might feel uncomfortable at first, like standing in a room with no music, but that's where the magic happens. The more you practice, the stronger your silence becomes. It's not just a weapon, it's a sanctuary, a place where you recharge and refocus. And as you grow into that power, you'll notice everything around you starts to shift. Your relationships improve, your confidence rises, and your path becomes clearer. Hold on, because soon I'm going to reveal how this quiet power connects to one of the most overlooked secrets of emotional mastery, and it's going to change how you see your own strength forever. Now, here's the truth most people miss. Silence isn't just a tactic, it's a way of life. It's the quiet confidence that says, I don't have to prove myself to anyone. When you live from that place, you stop chasing validation and start toning your value. This isn't about being distant or cold. It's about being so deeply connected to your own strength that the noise around you loses its power. That's emotional intelligence in its highest form, knowing when to speak, when to listen, and when to simply be. Remember, every moment you choose silence, you're choosing yourself. You're choosing growth over reaction, wisdom over chaos, and peace over drama. And that choice, it ripples out into everything you do. So start today. Use your silence as your shield, your sword, and your sanctuary. Embrace the power that comes from self-control and emotional mastery. Because in the end, silence isn't empty, it's full of possibility. Subscribe and like for more content. We are Wisdom Recorder.